into business. I got my wild cherry Diet Pepsi, and I got my blackjack gum here, and I got that feeling. Yeah, that familiar feeling that something rank is going down out there.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me what's fun.
Oh, me, sir, goddammit! Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
You!
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I'm so racist! Anybody move, I'll blow your fucking head off. And the medic gets out and says, oh my God.
I'm your huckleberry.
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily. Put that coffee down.
Pauline, this calls for the old Billy Baroo.
That's a huge bitch.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's over, Johnny. It's over!
All right, there we go. And it's Friday. It's about 10:12 p.m. my time. It's about 11:12 p.m. Anthony's time then. Correct, sir?
You're correct, sir. What's going on?
What's going on, Anthony?
Delayed reaction, folks. I had
Hello?
my mic muted by mistake. Sorry about that, Box.
Hello, is this thing on? Hey, hi.
But yeah, man, it's another Friday and another time to review a fucking movie.
There we go. We are going to review Enemy of the State, but of course, since this is a movie show, we have to mention Gene Wilder. Passed away this week, 1933 to 2016. Obviously,
2016 on a personal note can go fuck itself. My God.
Seriously, man, it's what a fucking downer 2016 has been for wrestling and for movies and actors and music.
Yeah.
My God, like every medium of entertainment is just
been hit, and especially this week
Yeah.
back to back. You know, we had we found out the news. Mr. Fuji died. You know, Harry Fujiwara. Then the next day we get the news about Gene Wilder. So yeah, that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Gene Wilder's known for some people are going to know him for the original movie, The Producers. Everybody knows him from Willy Wonka, Blazing Saddles,
Yes.
Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Richard Pryor. Those two movies are classic.
Yes,
gold.
just the scene alone in Stir Crazy. I was just thinking about that today.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Pryor was trying to teach Gene Wilder how to survive in jail. That was great. That's one of those scenes that the minute you see it, oh man, I could go years without seeing Stir Crazy, but I'll always remember that scene word for word.
Oh, I remember the scene right when they're walking into the jail and they're walking with like they're bouncing and they're walking and they're going, yeah, we bad. That's a funny fucking movie, man. I mean, shit, look that's, I don't know, man. Him and Richard Pryor had that chemistry, that David Spade, Chris Farley type of chemistry. You know what I mean? So, great fucking, great guy. Obviously, did a lot of stuff.
Just attributed to old age.
Yeah, I mean, lived to what is he, 83 years old.
Yeah,
lived a good life. So, and obviously, if you can't hear, Anthony's at a fucking party right now. So he's having fun over there. So
a good time will be had by all. Happy Labor Day weekend, folks.
Yeah,
I'm on location.
So on that note, let's we don't really want to dwell on Gene Wilder. One night we'll probably do Blazing Saddles. I would say would probably be the best one of those to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will answer the eternal question: where the white women at?
Yeah, where the white women at?
And that kind of actually ties in. That's a nice little tie-in to the movie we're going to be reviewing tonight. Mm-hmm. Because the whole premise of Enemy of the State is how Big Brother knows what we're doing at all times.
Yeah. Obviously, like we mentioned, we are going to review Enemy of the State, starring Will Smith, Gene Hackman, John Voight, Lisa Bonet, who gives me a bonet.
Wow, Box is coming with the one. He's coming with the zingers tonight, folks. You came prepared.
There you go. A couple other people that are notable in this movie. Barry Pepper. I don't know if you know who he is. Did a great movie with Vin Diesel called Knock Around Guys. Was in The Green Mile with Tom Hanks. Jake Busey is in this movie. And Scott Conn, who most of us will know as Tweeter. And yes, that is the son of tough guy James Caan.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Tweeter is James Caan. This movie also had Jamie Kennedy, Jack Black, and I'm scrolling through, and there's a small wrestling tie-in in this movie.
Oh, it is?
Gentleman named Phil Stamper, who also goes by Nate Stein. Done a bunch of... I'm surprised Shaheen doesn't know this guy. He has done a ton of stuff for CZW and everything. So, yeah, he did a movie called Ninjas vs. Monsters. He was in that, but from 2014, 2013, CZW. So, surprised Shaheen doesn't know who this guy is. But, and of course, Tom Sizemore plays a mob boss in this. What a better... I mean, is there a better fucking role for him to play? I love Tom Sizemore, man.
Oh, you said Tom Sizemore?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, I was telling Box before we went live that it's actually been, literally years. Double-digit years since I actually sat down and watched Enemy of the State. It's one of those movies, I like it. I remember it. But, I actually forgot, after you named that little casting list, how many people was actually in this. Like, Jamie Kennedy, I totally forgot he was in it.
Yep, he is one of the guys. He's usually in the van with Seth Green, who's also in this movie.
Always in the van.
Mm-hmm, in the van, they're doing that. Jack Black is, got a few one-liners in this movie. But, the main characters you're looking at in this movie are Will Smith, Gene Hackman, and John Voight most of the time. So, that's it. Basically, and like you said, this movie is about what Big Brother can do.
Yes.
Let's
movie was ahead of his time. 20 years
it was.
ahead of his time.
And yeah, movie came out in 1998. Now, this is the way I figure it. Any movie is good when it starts off in the first 5 minutes with a murder. When you can start a movie and within 5 minutes there's a murder happening, I'm already involved. I love it already.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
So.
it's like, hey, but this is during that period of time where Will Smith had the Midas touch in Hollywood. This movie came out, right? This really came out around that time period. I don't know if you remember. Mm-hmm. There was a time in I would say maybe from the mid 90s all the way up to maybe the early to mid 2000s where Will Smith was the Midas touch man when it came to summer blockbusters.
Oh yeah.
And like, and this is like, I don't, I got to look up the budget information. I don't think this was like one of his bigger hits because this is one of those movies that you don't really hear talked about too much. It really kind of flies under the radar. Mm-hmm. But this is during that time period with Will Smith. I've forgiven him for Wild Wild West. That was, I've forgiven. I'll never sit down and watch it, but I've forgiven him for it. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure he still got a nice paycheck off of that.
That's a decent movie, man. You know what? And really, he has not done a lot. Oh my God, he's done so many movies. No, he has not.
No.
He has been a part of some good, chains, the Men in Black 1, 2, and 3, Bad Boys, but he's only done like 40 total movies. You got to remember, this guy started off on a TV show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 6 years. Yeah. But you're right, from 1996 to about 2000, Independence Day, Men in Black, Enemy of the State, Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's one of those, yeah.
Legend of Bagger Vance, I've never seen. But then he started doing some more serious movies. The I, Robot, I Am Legend, Hancock, 7 Pounds. Good, all great movies.
Yeah. But it's just like, I don't know. And this is not going to be a shit on Will Smith, because he's a good actor.
No.
But I don't know. Do you think that, does it seem like kind of like over the past, I won't say decade, but maybe 5 years, just like whatever he's come out with haven't really had the same kind of buzz that it used to have? I mean, like you hear Will Smith. Like there was a time when you could say the new Will Smith movie, there would be a certain buzz. Like I got to see that movie, but it just doesn't seem to be there with him anymore.
It really hasn't done much. He kind of lost his touch. I mean, he had a little part in Anchorman in 2013, the second one. He did a movie called Winter's Tale. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Focus, I've never heard of. Concussion, I know he was in that movie. Suicide Squad, he's in as Deadshot, but he's got a few more movies coming out, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more movies coming out. Obviously, another Bad Boys. So
yes. And a little funny aside, I might have mentioned this on the our Big Brother show, THT podcast, Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mixler.com/THT podcast. Gene's not here, so somebody had to do it.
There you go.
I actually saw Martin a couple months ago, and he actually brought up that they are working on Bad Boys 3, possibly a 4, and he told them, and I quote, "They better hurry up before Bad Boys turn into Sad Boys," because he had made mention of the fact that he was 51. I'm like, my God.
Well,
and that just made me feel old as shit.
Looks like 2018 they already have Bad Boys for Life announced, which would be number 3. Now they already have Bad Boys 4 announced for 2019.
Yeah, so they must. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe they're taking like the Back to the Future route, and they're going to like film them just like guerrilla film, and then just release them, just keep them like in the can, ready to release.
Yeah, just in case,
Yeah, but it's like I'll give them credit for I guess like not killing the franchise and spacing them out. But do you think they kind of took too much time? Because the first one was such a hit that. Because I remember initially, I think the original plan was Bad Boys came out in 95, and they were originally going to come out with it in 97, the sequel. Mm-hmm. But plans fell through, and it got delayed by like 6 years.
Yeah.
I forgot. I mean, I think maybe Will backed out the last minute. Because that was, like I said, that was during that time when he was really starting to blow up, and maybe he didn't want to like dive back into that right at that moment. He didn't. I guess maybe he didn't want to get the fine. Maybe his people got in his ear and said, "You don't want to get attached to a franchise and get known as Mike Lowry for the rest of your career," and he just said, "Oh, I might not want to back off of this." But it just seemed kind of weird that there's such a big gap in between Bad Boys, because I personally enjoy both of them. I'm just kind of like scratching my head about why the fuck it took them so long.
I don't know why it took so long, but it did. I mean, 2003 was the 1995 to 2003. Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2. I don't know what took so long. Maybe they're just letting it marinate each time.
Yeah. Oh, now thanks, Weaves. Weaves in the chat. Will Smith is 47. damn.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Also, Weebs in the chat mentioned.
let me just say this: when the people from the '90s start aging,
Mhm.
that's when you start. That's when it starts to sink in. Like I think Steve Austin and Sean, they both in their 50s now. So when the '90s people start to age, it's like, oh damn, time is fucking flying.
Yeah, Weebs also mentioned one more person who's in the movie for not very long, Jason Lee.
That mother, you know, not to go off on a tangent, but it's THT. That dude is so fucking underrated. I'm talking about going back to the Kevin Smith days. I don't know what it is. You always hear in wrestling the it factor. I can't tell you why I like the dude. I just fucking like him.
That's kind of like Judd Nelson, man. He's got that kind of underrated Judd Nelson thing. But I mean, go back to Mallrats. That guy was brilliant in Mallrats.
And if I'm not mistaken, that might have been his first flick.
I think it was. And then he was more brilliant in Dogma, in my opinion. I totally agree with you there, man. So,
My Name is Earl, a show that was canceled before its time.
I didn't really catch much of that. I probably eventually need to catch up on that. So,
yeah, like I said, I'm not wasn't a big time fan of the show, but yeah, it was good. It like I said, it had a. If you're into like quirky sense of humor, quirky sensibilities, you would like it. It's like one of those type of shows.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, let's dig into the movie a little bit so we can not. I know you're somewhere and want to go back to drinking. So.
Oh no! This is no. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about the show. The show's going to get progressively better.
Oh, awesome!
Stay tuned, folks.
There you go. We someone's
but this is
drinking.
fun, man. Honestly, I like doing the show. I like busting it up with you guys, chat room, box.
Oh,
this is a good time for me.
Hell yeah, man! I always like doing this. I was exhausted, and finally I'm feeling like I'm awake. So, all right, let's get into this movie a little bit. Like you said, this movie is a little bit about Big Brother. It starts off with a murder. Obviously, they're trying to get Congress to pass a bill that will allow the NSA to basically video everything, and with audio. So that's what they're trying to get past, cameras just going everywhere, which, this movie is probably a little bit before its time, but this was also when we had big search engines going up, and this was a problem that people were talking about, during this time. So it was a hot button issue, if you will, at this time. But it starts off, and obviously he's saying he's not going to pass it. They murder John Voight and his boys from the the NSA, murder a guy in order to get this bill passed. So they do get it passed, and this movie takes a real good twist. Because I don't know, but let's kind of jump back to that. Do you think? This was when all this stuff was being talked about, going on. Cameras were being installed everywhere.
Yeah. Just that, it to me it was fucked up with the dog, man. Like I can't get away from the fucking dog dying. I'm not dying, but why the fuck did the dog run after the car? Like he was going to try. I respect the fact that the dog was loyal, but I'm like, did they not think about how the dog is going to get home? They just popped the ball and let him just drown.
Yeah, let the dog go. They just didn't even care. I think that was kind of to show like how just evil and sadistic these guys are. They just don't even give a shit. They just killed the guy, put him in his car, dumped some pills out, and threw him in the fucking river,
Yeah, but I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No. I was just asking you. Like I said, this was a time where this was a hot button issue. National security, search engines were just becoming, this was right around the time they were all coming to fruition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were still using dial-up back then. Remember that?
I might have been at this time.
Dial-up.
Yeah. But, this movie definitely was ahead of its time. And like I said, I just watched that show, Person of Interest. And this really ties into what that show is about, because it's basically about what this is showing, except a guy built a machine that's even smarter. So the machine can basically talk back to him. It's an artificial intelligence that he built, so it's better than what they have. But basically this movie is about Robert Dean, Will Smith, an attorney. He starts off as an attorney. He's obviously a hotshot lawyer they're in L.A., right? They're in L.A.? Yeah, they're in L.A. during this movie. He's a hotshot attorney. And, runs around. But, one of the best parts in this movie you will probably watch is when he goes in to buy the lingerie for his wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What a great fucking scene in this movie. Thongs and fucking bras everywhere. Love this part. But this is where he meets Jason Lee, and this is where the movie starts to twist. Jason Lee actually accidentally catches the murder on tape. He was filming the migration of some kind of bird. And catches the murder on tape. And they're after him. He actually runs, while he's running from the NSA, runs into Will Smith, hands him the disc without him knowing, and then proceeds to take off out of the store onto a bike, and Jason Lee is done in the movie. He gets hit by a fire truck and dies.
Yeah, it is
That's really not funny.
but it's only a movie. The guy's very much alive and well.
Yeah, it's not funny, but it's like, hey,
It's
Jason
funny.
Lee.
It's not funny, but it's funny. It's one of those.
When you see Jason Lee in a movie, you just don't expect it to be like one and done. Quick out, done. Oh look, Jason Lee. Oh look.
Well, that's kind of like Jason Lee's career at this point. He kind of comes in, gives you a quick one-liner, rolls out, makes his money.
I guess so. But obviously they, through their techniques of the NSA, find out that Will Smith does have what they're looking for, this evidence that they committed the murder. And John Voight and his crew at the NSA begin trying to track down Will Smith.
Yes.
Now, we do have to mention his wife in this movie,
Regina King.
Played by, there you go, Regina King.
Still look fine, by the way. I just want.
Oh yeah, and she's kind of a conspiracy theorist in this movie.
I don't give a damn. She still look fine.
Mm-hmm. Turns out she's correct in this movie.
Yes,
but like 100% correct. I mean, you got to think about how back in they could do this stuff back in 1998. So we're way ahead of 1998 now. If they had those kind of capabilities back then, which I'm pretty sure some of those were true, just imagine what we've just grown into, some of the really scary shit that they have now.
Yeah, because you figure computers actually go back to like the 60s and the 50s and 60s. So you figure whatever we have now, whatever hits the streets now, they didn't have in development for like 20 years before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, take this movie and, probably multiply what we have by like 1,000. That's probably how much more scary they are. I mean, let's face it. Your cell phone is nothing but...
It's convenient, but it's a fucking tracking device.
It really is. You are holding a tracking device in your hand most of the fucking day. I don't want to get into it. I really wish Shaheen would call into this. We could really probably go into some conspiracy theories with Shaheen. But
he is in the chat, so who knows? I got a feeling we're gonna have a lot of guests popping up. It's gonna be a good show. Like I said, I'm live on location.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, it's these conspiracy theories. I don't want to go all Alex Jones. I've seen the black helicopters above my house. They're flying around. I've seen them all day. I don't want to go all Alex Jones on anybody. But some of the things I'm sure that people talk about are true. The fact that they can probably turn on your phone camera anytime they want. I don't doubt they can do stuff like that, I really don't. I really don't doubt they can do things like that. But let's not make this a conspiracy theory show.
No, it all ties in. I mean,
I know.
Conspiracy theories movie.
Yeah, I just don't want to make it, completely about conspiracy theory. We would be here all fucking night.
Yeah.
Because I love going into that shit.
Hey, look, come on. We always sidetrack, but it's cool. Don't worry about it.
That's right. I mean,
Basically, it's about the thermite paint on the beams on 9/11. Oh, sorry. All right.
We should do a show dedicated to the magic bullet theory.
Oh, God.
They still looking for the magic bullet in Dallas? Your neck of the woods.
It's too fucking hot. Trust me, the bitch melted. Okay? It's fucking 10 o'clock here. It's probably fucking over almost 90 degrees. Let me see here real quick. Let's explain something to you here. Weather bug. Give me my weather bug.
Hey, but not to get too sidetracked.
85 degrees.
Since I brought up Kennedy, is there like a big tourist attraction in your area? Mm-hmm. Like where Kennedy got shot, people just kind of drive by, take pictures?
Not so much anymore, but you do see people walking around there all the time, tourists, and I mean it's right downtown. I mean, I've driven by it many a times, not even thought about it, but you know, it's right downtown. People do walk around it all the time, take pictures. It's kind of creepy, but
I mean, do they have it set up like a monument?
I don't know. I drive by it, dude. Come on. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I feel like Tommy right now. Tommy, are there kangaroos? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking go outside. God damn it. Oh, fuck. So, I really don't know. I've just driven by it a few times. I've never really, had the time to peek at it. Downtown is a very confusing place to drive, so you really got to be on the ball at all times. So, just kind of drive by and keep driving.
Yeah, I mean, here in Philly, obviously, Philly's, historical city. We got the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. So we have a lot of history in our city, but we're not the home of like one of the most famous shootings on the face of the planet. We're famous for random shootings, but nobody of significance.
Yeah. I mean, come on. New York has a bunch of places that's famous for shootings, too. Mob boss shootings all over the fucking place in that city.
Hey, Box, is this the part of the show where we should go, all lives matter, to piss more people off?
No. No. I mean, they do, but come on. I don't want to start all this shit. But, yeah, I mean, we do have some famous shootings. I mean, just up to recently, we have another one that just came up. All the cops got shot, so.
Yeah, it's just
not a great thing for a city.
I mean, yeah. All seriousness aside, all jokes aside, it's nothing funny about being known for like murders in your city and all that kind of stuff. So
no, not at all. Fuck, where were we? I think we were just going over the lingerie scene.
Yeah,
we were past that. That's right. Basically, like I said, they find out that Will Smith has this. They start chasing him around, and they do it in some crazy ways. I mean, they break into this guy's house. They take everything. Jake Busey steals the guy's blender.
Yeah, that was weird.
They painted his dog. They wanted to make it look like kids did. But, I mean, they were, over those 2 days, excuse me, they replaced everything. They left him one suit so that they could bug it. They replaced his watch with a bug, his pen with a bug, his shoes with a bug. Everything he had ended up being bugged. Yeah,
and that's some scary shit right there. To really, if you really stop and think about it, because nowadays, like I said, they can put a camera in a cell phone. They could put a camera in a teddy bear. They could put a camera in a can of fucking soda, and you would not know it.
There are apps out there that can be found that you can literally, it's called bluejacking. You can literally bluejack someone. Every phone call they get, you'll get. I mean, there are some really scary things out there right now. So trust me, man. They can do. Your cell phone is just, unless you keep your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off, you're pretty vulnerable at all times, unfortunately. So, just know that. Keep using that cell phone.
Yeah. And not the, fuck it. I guess we already went there. Since we're talking about conspiracy theories, do you think that it's pretty coincidental? You figure like something like Facebook and Twitter and all of these different, Snapchat. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't have a fucking Instagram. I just started using my Twitter this year.
Yeah,
honestly.
Twitter much.
But do you think that part of the reason why these are free signups, where anybody can sign up for them? Do you think that is part of the Big Brother's plan, just to get even more access to you? Because how many times during the course of a day, you can go on Facebook, go on one of your friends, or just go on type in a random name, and just scroll through their timeline and the shit that they post, and you feel like Jesus. You feel like you know them. You don't know them, but you know them.
Well, I mean,
because people post so much of their fucking life.
Oh yeah, so much of people's personal life, where they are. Figure how many times do you pull up a fucking story of people who commit a crime, go home, brag about it on Facebook, and guess who shows up at their door 30 fucking minutes later?
It was actually a deal like that in Philly not too long ago, where basically I want to say with either Philly or Delaware, like our neighboring state, and the kid it was like at a high school, and they beat the shit out of this girl. She wound up dying.
Ooh.
And the fucking morons, being kids, they get on Facebook and fucking brag about it. And I love the shit. Oh, we got to delete. Motherfuckers. And this is just a public service announcement. Whenever you post shit on Facebook, just because you delete it doesn't mean the shit goes away.
It's never gone.
There's a little something called an internal hard drive. So when the cops pull up to your house or your residence, or when they bring your ass into the station and they pull out all of this fucking paperwork, where do you think they got it from? The Facebook fairy? No. They can subpoena Facebook, and Facebook saves all of your shit. Everything you post, once you put it out there on the internet, it's out there forever and a day. It can be accessed.
Yeah,
My rant is over on that, but I just think people sometimes forget that. They think just because they hit that delete button that, all of my problems go away. Don't work like that, folks.
Dude, listen, man, I know a couple PIs here that, former cops who, just couldn't get many other jobs, so they just decided to start a PI business. They tell me the same thing. You don't understand. Sometimes when they're looking for people, they just follow their Facebook. Sure enough, they'll check in somewhere. And all they gotta do is walk in the fucking door. Oh, look, there they are. It's crazy, but people love to post their personal life all over Facebook for their friends and don't realize who's looking at it.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like you said, you people check in. Oh, I'm Anthony. I'm checking in at the bar. 2 minutes later, if somebody's looking for me, I saw you posting on Facebook. You was at the fucking bar.
Yeah,
and it's like, and people look up and like, how the fuck did you know where I am?
Nah, you can't lie to your woman anymore. You can't do shit. If you're gonna lie to your woman, turn off your location, turn off your Bluetooth, and turn off your fucking Wi-Fi. There's a free hint for every guy out there fucking around.
And not to go off on another tangent, but it's fun. Look, I like this discussion we're having right now because it ties into the movie perfectly. So we're not really going off topic.
No, not at all.
But to keep it in line with the cameras and all that shit, there was a time in this country where you can do anything and get away with. We reviewed Goodfellas a couple months back. To this day, one of my favorite movies. So that's my goal. I'm going to mention Goodfellas at least once per show. That's how much I love that fucking movie. But the Latanza heist, for years upon years, that was the biggest heist on U.S. soil ever, ever committed. And you know why? Because it occurred during a time period where you didn't have social media. If that shit in today's day and age, you can't get away with shit like that because there's cameras everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, think about it. Like when you speed, a buddy of mine, we went on a trip a couple years ago, and you kind of like trying to get place to place. You may rush, you might go a couple tads over the speed limit, and then it's like you get that bill in the mail. How the fuck did that? Because there are cameras inserted into the fucking lights now.
I use a GPS app called Waze. Waze. There you go. Free plug for Waze. Great free app. It's kind of like a social media GPS. There's other Wazers and people on it that report. I mean, it's a true GPS. It'll get you everywhere you're going, but people report accidents and this and that. There are so many red light cameras, man. You don't, and it tells you where they are. That app, they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
Yes.
You can't get away. You're. Let's face it. You have really no private life anymore, unless you're off the grid, off the internet.
Yeah.
And
you can't get away with shit because you look at it like, I put it to you like this, Box. Say you're at the bar drinking. Mm-hmm. This actually might be based on a true story. No, but seriously. Say you're at a bar drinking and you get into a little fight and you wind up beating the shit out of somebody. Mm-hmm. And then you leave. Back in the day, if this were like 70s, 80s, even the 90s, up until a certain point, you would have been able to leave and get, unless there were like eyewitnesses or people that came forward, you would have been able to get away with it. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, the cops they'll be at your house within an hour of you getting home. And they're questioning you about what happened because everybody, first of all, people at the bar probably got their cell phones out.
Yep.
World Star, hip hop. There's cameras, like I said. Oh, he left, this is him leaving. This is him leaving the establishment. They'll have you driving up to, by the time you leave the bar, get to your car and up the street, there's about 57 different angles of you already on somebody's camera.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, really, man. And you know what I figured out about cell phones? You want to know what really is one of the worst thing now about these cell phone videos and cameras and World Star hip hop? People don't fucking help anybody anymore.
Yeah. Fuck you. Matter of fact, you're on my fuck you list. You can definitely suck my left dick.
They see people getting their ass beat and they're just like, fucking World Star, but jump in and help them.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
It's like I see people post that shit on my wall sometimes, and sometimes if it's just like a scrap or a fight, it can be kind of comical. That's depending on the circumstances. But it always boggles my mind. You see these deadly situations. Like not too long ago, it might have been around the time when the whole piss shit milk guy. It might have been a couple weeks before that, I believe. Remember when the news reporter got shot on air? It was like on YouTube and all that. She got shot on a live newscast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? People had like, it came out that it was like 45 different angles of people like filming it with their cell phone. Obviously, the cameraman got shot too, so that's how they got like the hard cam footage. But all of these different angles of the fucking thing came out. And I'm thinking like, I don't expect you to, if somebody's shooting, I don't expect you to fucking play John McClane and try to apprehend the suspect, but how about use your fucking phone to call the cops? That somebody that can defuse the situation.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, not the. But Bobs, could you see yourself like being like that guy in a situation? Like if you see an injustice going down, could you see yourself attempting to jump in?
I'm kind of bound to. Yeah, I would actually. Yeah. Dude,
I always think about that, because I guess it's like, it's real easy to sit here and armchair quarterback a situation, but I always kind of wonder, like, if I see something real fucked up going down, would I be the guy to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to take the law into my own hands and, see what I can do. See if I can defuse the situation.
If I was armed like I usually am, yeah, I would try to take that guy down who just shot two innocent people. Yeah, I would. Listen, they tell you as soon as you go into that fucking class, they tell you need to be prepared to act and know what's going to happen if you do. And that's what they teach you in those classes. But forget all that. B-Max brings up a great point. Not only is no one helping, but they're fighting for free. Fucking assholes, man. They're fighting for free. He's got a point there. Never fight for free. Make some money on it. Fuck. Listen to Mike Tyson. Never fight for free.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, like, I don't know if they do them too much anymore, but fucking Tough Man contests back in the day.
I think they still do. They're just not as big as they were, those Tough Man, the Strong Man contests.
Yeah. Bad. I mean, like I said, you figure win or lose, I hear like both sides get like a little cut of the money. Usually not a lot of money, but you know, you get a cut, winner's purse, and you get the runners up.
Yeah, why not? Why fucking not, man? Yeah, those I used to watch those. They're probably on like ESPN 8, the Ocho. That was a dodgeball reference for anyone out there.
Yeah, I got it.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yes.
We need to do that movie one night too.
Fuck, we need to do we definitely need to do like a Vince Vaughn type of movie because not so much now, but man, he's a funny motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right, let's back into the movie, I guess.
Yeah, we're almost done, folks, with the movie.
Pretty much. I mean, at this point, Will Smith is basically trying to get away. Now, before we can do that, we do have to set up that I mentioned he was an attorney. Now, that's important because he does go see Tom Sizemore in this movie, who was a mob boss, to show him a tape of him consorting with known members of the mob, which he's not supposed to be doing per his parole. So, you know, basically he kind of tries to blackmail him. What happens instead is he gets blackmailed, and Tom Sizemore, as the mob boss, says, I give a week, bring the fucking person back here who made the tape, or you're fucking dead. So that does tie in, so we do have to mention that. Now, like we just said, he basically is running from the NSA the whole time. Eventually, he does find Lisa Bonet's source of information in this movie, who is Gene Hackman.
Gene motherfucking Hackman.
Gene motherfucking Hackman. He's kind of a badass guy who was a former NSA agent himself, and is kind of trying to help him out since they basically framed Will Smith for murdering Lisa Bonet in this movie, which is why he enlists the help of Gene Hackman as Brill in this movie. Now, Gene Hackman knows a lot of the tricks they're doing, obviously, because he was a former NSA guy who they screwed over. But, doesn't catch all their tricks, but, they've obviously upgraded a little bit. But, an awesome car chase scene in this movie where they're going down those railroad tracks, shooting at each other, blowing each other up, and just a great fucking action scene for this movie. And as you can see, I am trying to kind of blow through it so we can just kind of get through this. But Anthony, am I missing anything so far?
Well, we've kind of covered the highlights. I mean, as we stated before we kind of went live, behind the scenes, you're getting some behind the scenes info here, folks. Before we went live, we kind of came to the conclusion that it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong; it's fucking long as shit. It's almost 3 fucking hours, but there's really not a whole lot of meat and substance to it. I mean, but the gist of the whole movie is Will Smith is getting tracked by the government,
right,
and the mob. That's basically it.
Yeah, action movie. What he does at the end, though, is really smart. Since John Voight is looking for a tape, he does. We'll go ahead and kind of get in the end now. He does go ahead, and after getting Brill to do a lot of the things that they're doing to the same guys that are, trying to go after him, the NSA, they do bring John Voight and his crew to the mob boss in order to he kind of makes him think that the tape that he's looking for is the same one that the mob boss is looking for who made it. And pretty much almost everyone in the room takes a bullet, except for Will Smith. But that's another great part. Everyone is just shooting and shooting and shooting. So Will Smith does end up, of course, getting away and cleared of all charges, reunited with his wife. And it is the usual action movie with a good ending. Let me say we kind of need to go a little bit into the movie. This is a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. Obviously, all the CSI movies are his.
Yes.
Not the CSI movies, Jesus Christ. CSI TV shows are his. a few more. There's a lot of movies that will surprise you. I believe Varsity Blues is one of his too. Now, this has surprised you. This movie was distributed by Disney.
Yes, and Box. I want to throw some numbers at you.
Oh, go for it.
And this is early 90s. This is 1990s.
Oh, this is a big box office movie. Go ahead.
Yes, the movie itself was made on a budget of $90 million.
Mm-hmm.
It grossed $250.6 million. God damn.
Now,
so I would say this was a success.
Now, once again, $90 million with Will Smith, Gene Hackman, Jon Voight, Lisa Bonet, who still had a good career going at the time. I mean, a lot of big actors were in this goddamn movie, you know?
And like, I don't know if I mentioned this on the air, but like, this is during Will Smith's hot period. So if the movie was made on a budget of $90 million, how much of that budget do you think Will Smith's contract ate up? Because this is coming off of Bad Boys, Independence Day, The First Men in Black.
I'll say somewhere from 10 to 12 mil.
Will definitely didn't walk away with less than 10 mil.
No, I'm thinking 10 to 12. I mean, this was 1998. 2000s is when you started hearing, Sandler makes $20 million a movie, and
which is funny as shit to think now.
You know what though? Let's face it; those Sandler movies do fucking make money. They do.
Well, yeah, that because he has a built-in audience. He has a built-in following.
He definitely has a following. And, I'll admit I like a lot of his movies too. They are stupid. They are basically just Adam Sandler talking baby talk. But
they're classics. I'll be fucking, God willing, I'll be 80 years old sitting somewhere still laughing at Billy fucking Madison.
Hell yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
I hope I am, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, if you can't laugh at the sight of fucking 70-something-year-old Bob Barker at the time beating the shit out of Adam Sandler, then you have no soul. That was funny as shit.
It really was.
I just gave myself another idea for the show, Pox. We got to talk about that movie one day.
just Bob Barker himself? Jesus.
I mean, I don't know about you, Box, but I've always, because my grandma growing up, she got me in The Price is Right. And Bob, he's a charming guy. He's an engaging guy. He knows how to work the camera, so to speak. Like his Raw appearance a few years ago, he did pretty well for himself.
Oh yeah, listen. I remember I'm older than you. My mom used to say that I would try to stay home just to watch The Price is Right from school.
No, I don't know if you were born, because you were born in what? I don't know when you were born, but did you ever see that infamous Price is Right episode back in the day where the chick got so excited her tits popped out? They showed it on all the blooper reels.
No, I don't remember that, but yeah, I mean, I was born in '75, so that show was in its prime, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting at home watching The Price is Right. Dude, I remember sitting at home with my mom watching General Hospital.
My mom to this day still like I've never gotten into a soap opera a day in my fuck. I don't know why. It's just I like it's weird. It's weird. You remember the show Soap?
Oh yeah.
I can actually watch that just because it's so over the top goofy, but I can't watch an actual soap opera. Go figure.
Really?
I don't know what it is. I mean, I've never actually sat down to try. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll like it. It's like Friends. I didn't watch Friends when it was originally on, but now I love the reruns. Go figure.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really gotten into them, but you could almost say that that's basically you do watch a soap opera. You just don't realize it.
Now, real quick, we brought up Price is Right. I haven't watched it in years. I mean, I've caught it here and there. But what do you think of Drew Carey as Bob Barker's successor?
I think Drew Carey is weird, and he actually morphed himself into looking just like a game show host somehow. I don't know how he did that.
Well, he did lose a ton of weight, which for health reasons, I'm glad he did.
Yeah, he's really fucking weird looking to me, but yeah. Weird.
I will say this. On one of my off days from work, I did catch an episode of Price is Right. I don't know if it was a rerun or a new episode, but I don't know what, it might have been a Halloween theme or something like that, but it was the weirdest thing. It was like a dress up like Drew Carey episode, and everybody had the glasses, and my God, it hurt my eyes for a minute just to look at the visual of like thousands of people with the fucking Drew Carey glasses on, black, white, Chinese, tall, skinny, fat.
That's like a really that's a Twilight Zone episode right there.
Yes,
that's a fucking Twilight Zone episode.
I mean, honestly, it would have been that's actually a fun episode. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Maybe we can review that. Like, honestly, just do like a drinking game, do commentary over it.
Maybe. And, we puts out a nice little gem here. Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise were both considered for Will Smith's part, but they went with Will Smith. He really wanted to work with Gene Hackman, and obviously had worked with Jerry Bruckheimer on Bad Boys. So just kind of all went together,
It worked. I can't say the movie would have been any different. But it worked with Will Smith. I can't say it would have been any better or worse with Tom Cruise or even though when you think about it, this might have been he was coming on Mission Impossible, and this seemed like right up the alley of what Tom Cruise might have been doing at the time.
Yeah, it might have been. I mean, and it says Gene Hackman actually turned down this film many times, but the director Tony Scott actually called him and talked him into fucking doing it. So, now there's one line in this movie where Will Smith is asked by the NSA operatives if he bought lingerie for his wife, and he says, "Oh no, I do a little cross-dressing on the weekends. You'd be surprised how great a pair of edible panties makes you feel." So that was actually improvised, and they just let it stay. He said he couldn't resist it.
Considering the state of Will Smith's son now, that's wow.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Let me see.
Wow, that's wow.
Yeah, I can probably find that line.
While you're looking for that box, isn't it kind of weird? I guess things happen for a reason. But remember a movie that Mel Gibson did with I think it was Julia Roberts, called Conspiracy Theory. Mm-hmm. Isn't it? Yeah. It's been a minute since I saw that fucking flick, but
a long time since I've seen it. Yeah,
but it's kind of funny that he would have been considered for this role. Like, because it might have came out like a year or two before this.
Yeah, let's see. I'm close to it here.
In an extortion.
Close to that part.
It's an Omega. So you're not constrained by attorney-client privilege.
I'm gonna keep pausing just so we don't get YouTubed off. It's coming.
Sensitive materials to you.
What kind of materials?
Well, sensitive, so we're hoping that you could...
Fuck you, YouTube.
Yeah.
Bitches.
No, he didn't ask me anything.
These voice stress points.
All right, hold on here. Almost, we're at the right part. We're just not at the
Nature
right...
of physics. If he'd given me something, I would have known.
Oh, he's lying. What about your packages, sir? Could something have slipped in amongst the purchases without your knowledge?
Excuse me. Daniel Savage.
Hold on. God damn it. Damn it.
It's a Mont Blanc.
Accrete it into any of my bodily orifices.
He does have a very nice Mont Blanc pen, though. That is a very nice pen.
I don't think so, not without a warrant.
Oh, Christ. This guy's good. How did you happen to be at Ruby's today?
I was shopping for some lingerie. That's still legal, isn't it?
You buying that for your wife?
No, I was picking something up for myself. I do a little cross-dressing on the weekends. You'd be surprised how a nice pair of edible panties can make a guy feel sexy.
We thought it might be...
All right, that was improvised. That is a good line. I will admit that is a good fucking line.
Yeah, and like I said, Will Smith's like, it's not so much about the line always, it's how you deliver it. The way he said it, first of all, he's a better man than me, because I could not say that shit with a straight face. Honestly, I would probably be like a Bret Hart promo from back in the day where it would take after take for me to get it right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Weebs also says George Clooney was considered for a role. Sean Connery was considered to the Gene Hackman part. No. Oh, my God. Sean Connery? Oh,
is he still? That's a throwback. Is he still alive? I'm not trying to wish. Is he still around?
I don't know. He'd be like, "Yes, I was with the NSA at one time,"
and that's a guy. I don't know. That's a guy that always looked old. Even he always looked old.
Well, except in the Bond movies, he looked a little. He was distinguished in the Bond movies with the slicked.
Yeah, but he just seemed like he always had like the crow's feet. And I used to be a Bond fan back in the day. You know, even watching those movies, I'm like, did this dude ever look young?
Yeah, no, but he's definitely alive. And B Megs is asking, I have never seen the movie Gummo, but I'll have to check it out because Weeb said it's good. So we'll definitely give that one a check out, I guess, 1 week. Let's see if there's any more.
Got the gist of the movie out. This is the part we just kind of like shooting the shit.
Yeah, this is where we just go through some shit.
And I want to take a little poll from the chat room, and even you, Box, get your opinion. I've been going through some movies and thinking like different like random oddball movies for us to review. Are you a Michael Douglas fan, or were you ever a Michael Douglas fan of his movies?
Yeah, Black Rain is one of my favorite action movies.
Yeah. How about this? Were you a fan? And I was a fan for personal reasons, a lot of reasons. But did you ever see Disclosure with Demi Moore?
A long time. Yeah, it's been a while again.
As a young man, let me tell you something. Between that and fucking Indecent Proposal with her and Woody Harrelson and what was it, Robert Redford, my God, she was. I swear it had to be. Michael Douglas, for a period of years, must have had it written into his contract that, yeah, I got to fuck on camera. I got to fuck this one on camera. Because think about it. Like, he had the scene with, he did fucking Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close. Mm-hmm. A lot of sex in that.
Yep.
He did Basic Instinct.
Yep.
A lot of sex in that. And that Sharon Stone in the Prom. Mm-hmm. He did, I just mentioned Disclosure with Demi Moore. Mm-hmm. A lot of sex in that. It was they had a few hot and heavy scenes in that one.
Yeah.
I'm joking here, but it really was a good movie. Basically, the gist of it was she was blackmailing him, saying sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff, and in the end, she gets her comeuppance, and he wins. Blah blah blah. But Benjamin in the chat, B Megs, brings up a good one. Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That was a good fucking movie. We definitely got to talk about that one of these weeks. I haven't seen it in a while, but the gist of it was he was just like a regular 9-to-5 him and Ager. Copyright Bobby Heenan for that one. Mm-hmm. And he just got frustrated. He just got fed up. And he just snapped. He started mowing motherfuckers down.
Yeah.
He was like the postal worker that genuinely just went home and said, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm going to get my gun and just start mowing motherfuckers down.
Damn.
And I remember, I can't remember, maybe B Megs in the chat can help me out. I remember a scene, he was at like a fast food restaurant. And anybody who's ever been to a fast food restaurant can relate to this. Like, you're dealing with a fucking idiot on the other side of the counter. And for some reason, he just flipped out. It was over a burger, like something like that. He just flipped out. Like they might have got his order wrong, or they weren't listening to him. He kept saying, he came in there very calmly, like, I'd like a double Whopper, no cheese, ketchup on the side, that type of shit. And then it's like, he told him this calmly and coolly 2 or 3 times. And then he gets his order and it's all fucked up and he just proceeds to go the fuck off.
Yeah, he lost his fucking mind in that movie, dude. That was a great movie.
B-Max even brings up another scene. Let me see. He lost his shit. He was minutes late for breakfast and lost his shit. Like he was just like one of those guys that was easily triggered. But yeah, it's we definitely gonna review that one of these here weeks because that's one of those forgotten movies.
Oh shit! You know who else was considered for a role in this movie?
Who's that?
It was Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, all due respect to Sly Stallone, I can't picture Rocky pulling this one off.
How you doing? My name is Brill. That would not be good.
I mean, he's done serious roles where he didn't exaggerate the accent too much, but I just can't picture him pulling that one off.
But just think about it. Boxing is on in 4 separate scenes in this movie. It would have been fine. Another little quickie. Will Smith did turn down the lead role in the movie Snake Eyes, which starred Nicolas Cage to star in this film.
Huh?
that movie actually turned into not only being called Snake Eyes, but it's called Cage Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, there's a few things in this movie, but what else was I saw one more. Tom Sizemore and Barry Pepper were in Saving Private Ryan. I'd never seen that whole movie.
I've tried to say it's one of those movies. I'm ashamed to say that I have not seen that whole movie as old as it is. It's not just a bad movie, but it's long. It's hard. It's long, and in some parts, quite frankly, it's just hard to sit through.
Yeah, I've just really never sat down and watched the whole. I've seen pieces of it, and probably the whole movie through pieces, but never really sat and watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. You see, because now I'm on this mode of just bringing up random movies, seeing if we're on the same page with certain things. What's that movie? Drawing a blank. We might have to review this just because it's so bad, it's good, and I'm sure Tommy will love it because it's a Saved by the Bell reference. It's a Saved by the Bell tie-in, a movie I'm about to name. Did you ever see that movie Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley?
Yes. Yes.
Now, Elizabeth Berkley, to you, guys, you 90s babies, late 80s babies like myself, she was Jessie Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, there you go, if you're listening. We still love you here. But, she's an attractive woman. She's not ugly, but she was the most she was the most unconvincing stripper I've ever seen in my life. She just seemed awkward, and she honestly didn't even seem like she wanted. It's one of those movies where I don't even think she acknowledges it anymore. It was so bad. It was that bad. It's taken on legendary status on how bad this fucking movie is.
Yeah. I never really. I don't know. I mean, it was a good movie, but it wasn't that bad. I don't know. It wasn't great. It wasn't anything. I mean, it's not one that I would stop and watch. But I've seen it. And what was the other one with Demi Moore you mentioned?
Disclosure?
No.
Or Striptease?
Striptease.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, man. Demi Moore in the 90s was fucking hot.
Now, Striptease... Hold on here. Let me make sure I'm right. Is that the movie I'm thinking of?
It gotta be the movie, yeah. Might be, yeah. Because I just remember being very obsessed with Demi Moore in the 90s.
Okay. Striptease was mostly filmed in Fort Lauderdale. But it's not really Fort Lauderdale. It was actually Lighthouse Point, Florida, which was actually right across the street from where I was living at the time. So there were camera crews all around the place at that time.
Oh wow! So yeah, a little bit of a history there. Did you get any autographs? Did you?
No.
Did Box get a walk-on role?
No. But there was a little strip club that had closed right across the street that they used. So I had been there once, but it was a cool little strip club, man. Cool little strip club, but it was actually the first one I had ever been in. I was 17 years old, and they got me in. A couple of guys I knew.
And I'm looking it up. I actually went to Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. Since we were talking about Showgirls, and I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm reading through the little information packet here they have, and under cult status, check this out, Box.
Okay.
Since its release, the film has achieved cult status. According to writer Naomi Klein, ironic enjoyment of the film initially arose among those with the video before MGM capitalized on the idea. Excuse me, guys. MGM noticed the video was performing well because trendy 20-somethings were throwing Showgirls irony parties, laughing sardonically at the implausibly poor screenplay and shrieking with horror at the aerobic sexual encounters.
Whoa.
Wow.
Aerobic sexual encounters reminds me of what Amy Schumer said about Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it does.
Yeah. She said wow. That's a hell of a problem to have. If a chick ever tells me that, best believe I'm going to scream it from the mountaintops. She broke up with me because the sex was too athletic. I was doing too much shit for her to keep up with.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a problem for a guy to have. That's like a badge of honor that I would walk around proudly if I was Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah. Oh, he probably does.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Did you? I guess since you brought that situation up, did you remember hearing the story of Sonny allegedly Dolph Ziggler marked out when I guess they had that little encounter?
Oh, I
mean, which I could believe. Say what you want about the woman. She made many dicks crooked when she was around in the 90s. So even a past her prom stunny to somebody that grew up watching her in the 90s, early 2000s, it's like a badge of honor. It's like, you get a chance to fucking jerk, your poster comes to life.
Dude, I mean, let's face it. Back then she was probably still pretty good, but he probably did grow up staring at her, and that might have been like one of his first little woman jerk offs for all we know.
Yeah, but we can make all the Sunny jokes we want, but I'm pretty sure, especially now, you're dealing with a lot of youngins. I mean, a lot of the people that are in the business now were babies or young tweens, teenagers when the mid 90s when guys like Shawn and fucking Triple H and The Rock were on top. So now they're on top and they're getting to encounter these people. I'm pretty sure it's like a special type of moment, special type of deal when they encounter these people.
Oh, I mean, if I banged like Lita, trust me, I'd mark the fuck out. I mean,
put it to you like this: if the day comes where I get to bang like a Trish Stratus or a Victoria, that's a name that doesn't get enough credit. So I'm gonna put her over. She was very attractive. We're actually Facebook friends, and I've always dug her. She's a cool person, and god damn, she's fine. But my point was, I said if ever the day comes where I get to bang like a WWE diva, ex diva, whatever, any woman of prominence in the business, Dave Meltzer won't have to worry about. I'll give Dave Meltzer the scoop my damn self. Mm-hmm. Dave, look, me and Dave, look, whatever the name of his show or podcast is, because I know he has one. He can bring me on and I'll break the news. It won't have to be allegedly. It won't be one of these situations where allegedly, according to sources, the Wrestling Observer has learned of a sexual encounter. No. Dave Meltzer got the straight scoop from me.
According to Anthony, he banged Victoria.
Yep.
My
Definitely.
Trish Stratus would just be, my God, imagine all the yoga she can do. Oh.
And not even that, and obviously, like when she got inducted into the Hall of Fame, clearly, I don't know if you ever seen her husband. Clearly, she's not a mark for a good look, like over the top, good looking, sexy men.
No, he's just a dude, just a guy.
That was like, wow. That makes you think that, wow, she's one of those women that appreciate style over substance. I mean, I'm sorry, substance over style.
Yeah, we all have a chance. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
I don't know. I mean, did you kind of fall off the bandwagon a little bit when she went with a natural hair color?
No.
Did she lose something without the blonde hair?
No, I think she gains I think she looks better without the blonde hair.
You think she looks better with a natural hair color?
Mm-hmm. I do. I like it. I do. I think she looks just fine the way she is. Tone and hot. No problems.
Yes. Yes, Weaves hits the nail on the head. That's why we love you, Weaves. Mark out and not pull out. Motherfucking right. Yes.
All right. What do you think, Anthony?
Well, we covered the movie. We had a lot of fucking fun. Unless somebody wants to call in, or you can think of something else we might have missed. I think we hit all the high notes.
Nah, not even gonna bother with calls. It's fucking midnight most places. Nobody's gonna jump on the line. No one's calling tonight. We'll take it easy. We'll go on and get the hell out of here.
But before we do that, I actually want to put out a little note here. Next week, we actually talked about it, and I think it's pretty much appropriate. We're creeping up on almost 20 years since we lost one of my childhood heroes, fuck it, still one of my heroes, Tupac Amaru Shakur. He died in September of 1996. I still haven't gotten over it. Let me see. I'm looking. I want to say he died on September the 13th.
Oh, Jesus!
I'm looking up the date now, but
September.
But in honor of that, next week we're going to review a movie that doesn't get talked about too much anymore, but motherfucker, it should. Tupac was not just a rapper; he was a hell of a good actor, underrated in my opinion. We're going to review his very first movie, Juice.
Yes. Now, I've been one to say I really don't care for rap music, and I don't. But Tupac actually had something to say. If you, it wasn't just bullshit, you know.
Hibbity hoopla.
It wasn't forcing something to rhyme. He never shoehorned shit in. He had actually words to say in his music, which was good. I did like Tupac. So
yeah, Tupac was like he he wasn't a rapper in the traditional sense. He was almost like a spoken word poet.
Basically, he did poetry. Basically, yeah, I'd agree with that. And yeah, Juice was, like I said before the show, that's definitely up there as one of my favorites. I fucking love that movie. I just watched it, like 2-3 months ago. I said I went through like that one and a bunch of the those 90s, I guess you could call them 90s gangster movies. I don't know what else you can call them.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Yes, he did. You know, we did lose him way too fucking soon. September 13th, 1996. And wow. If you to the 90s babies out there, if you really want to feel fucking old, remember earlier I was talking about how guys, you know, once the guys from the 90s start to age, you start to feel old. Mm-hmm. Tupac was born in June. He was born on June 16, 1971. He died when he was 25. So do the math. Yeah, he would be 45 years old.
He'd be coming up on his 45th birthday this year, yeah.
He'd be 45, man. So that just freaks me out, man. Just time is fucking flying, folks. Enjoy your life. Have fun. Laugh. Don't get so caught up in petty bullshit. Go out and have fun. Smoke some weed.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, do something. I mean, all the shit that's going on, have fun. Me and Box, me and Shaheem, we do this shit because it's fun. It's a good way to decompress, shoot the shit with you guys, and just have a good time.
Yeah, I agree, man. All right, so definitely next week we're gonna do Juice. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And of course, here, let me get a little music behind me. You can't hear it, but trust me, it's playing in the background. There we go. Join us next week. We're gonna do the same day, same time, as far as I know. Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern, and that will be good. Oh, what the fuck? This is what I wanted to do. Here we go.
Yes, folks. Yeah, I know me and Bach, we've been bouncing all over the place in terms of our times. It's like fucking TNA over here, but no.
Yeah.
God willing, unless something major comes up, personally, Friday nights, 11 o'clock, that's going to be the time to tune in to THT, Mixler.com/THT podcast for THT movie review.
There you go. Mixer.com. And we can find us on iTunes, of course. You can find us at THT Movie Review. Facebook.com/THT Movie Review. YouTube, guess what? THT Movie Review. And, of course, on Twitter, I'm not going to fucking say it again. You know where to find it. And like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, don't ever forget to check us out on Wednesdays for THT Wrestling Podcast right here on Mixler. That is at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Normally we start that one on time. I said normally, not always. So, but you need any more about that, you can just go directly to our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/THT podcast. And Anthony, had a good time, man.
Good times. And as always, thanks for having me, Box. I know I'm a co-host of the show, but you make it happen. You're the you're the man behind, you're the wizard of THT. You make this shit work with all of your production know-how. You're our Anthony Missionary Thomas, if you will.
I'm just the guy who has two computers. It's convenient.
No, come on. No, I'm putting you over here. Give yourself more credit. You bring a lot to
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Trust me, man, I couldn't do this without a co-host, so I really appreciate you coming on every week. And, I mean, Jesus Christ, you're out. You should be over there fucking drinking with your boys. So you go ahead and do that. We're going to head on out of here, and we will see everybody next week. Juice.
Later.
Be the one. Later.